Hi there and welcome to the last chapter of our 2025 spring trip. We've come through Kent and along the south coast, looped round and ended up in deepest, darkest Wiltshire. In this episode we visit Old Sarum and the ancient city of Salisbury. We do the touristy thing at Stonehenge, then we do the hippie thing at Avebury, and we end up in the Savernake Forest on the outskirts of Marlborough.
So we've just arrived at the Old Sarum in Salisbury, and we're going to have a little look around and see what we can find today. It's a bit chilly. I think I'm going to need a coat today.
The Old Sarum is another English heritage site.
We're making the most of our membership. It's a big, massive moat.
That'll slow you down, won't it?
Yeah.
Old Sarum is a medieval castle within an Iron Age fortification. The hill fort was established around 400 BC. The stone structures were built around 1100 to 1135, and the castle was dismantled in the 15th century. The castle was built by William the Conqueror, and he also built a cathedral in the grounds.
Over there is the remains of the cathedral, which we'll go and have a look at later. But this castle, it's a lot of rock. Lots to explore. Nowhere near as impressive as Old Wardour, but the scale of it is quite impressive.
The cathedral had 6 altars and was built in a cruciform shape. Stone from the Old Sarum Cathedral was used to build the present-day Salisbury Cathedral.
With free all-day parking at the Old Sarum, we walked into Salisbury through the Avon Valley Nature Reserve. Salisbury is lovely. It's full of so many old buildings.
We visited the grounds of Salisbury Cathedral, but didn't see any Russians. Most of the statues on the front of the cathedral date from the 19th century. Just 7 of them date back to the 14th century. The cathedral is over 800 years old. The foundation stones were laid in 1220. The cloisters are free to walk around and are worth a look for their stunning architecture.
How did you find Salisbury?
I turned around and it was right there.
It was a pleasant walk, but it was a tough walk coming back. I was knackered, but that's no surprise really.
It was a bit uphill coming back, wasn't it? You can tell because we're above the cathedral.
Yeah. But, for a city centre, this is a free car park for us because it's English heritage, so we get it for free. And we like a country walk. That was a lovely little walk through the nature reserve along the River Avon.
Yes, little footpaths.
Yeah. Now we're just having a cup of tea and then we're going to move on to a lovely car park for our overnight stop.
Next to a Spitfire?
Yeah, yeah.
Next to a CMC site?
I don't know if it's Caravan Club or Motorhome and Caravan Club. They're two different clubs, aren't they?
They are. Perhaps if it's Caravan Club, we should go and have a look. Cause...
It looked pretty grim.
Is it?
Yeah, when I saw it, yeah. But yeah, we'll nosy into that one anyway. Why not? So yeah, it's a free car park that we're going to tonight, and it is. There's not many places to park a motorhome in Salisbury, so yeah, we're going to try that out. So it was great to be able to park here for free today. We're going to overnight somewhere free tonight. Might be a bit of road noise, but it's got to be quieter than the trains last night. Oh dear, yes. It was a cheap campsite last night, and we did know about the trains before we got there. But we weren't expecting to be 10
feet away from them.
Yeah, 10 metres away from the bloody train.
Metres? Less than that, I reckon.
Yeah, probably was. Anyway, yeah. I very much enjoyed Salisbury. I loved all the old buildings very much. And yeah, if I was feeling...
And the cream teas. Don't forget them.
Yeah, we had little cream... Yeah, we had a lovely little cream tea opposite the cathedral in a little cafe. It wasn't cheap, mind, but we haven't treated ourselves much on this trip, so... So we're in the Rugby Club car park in Salisbury. It's free. It's right next to the main road, but I understand from the reviews that that traffic noise will die down overnight, and we're used to sleeping on main roads sometimes. Next to us there is the secret Spitfire Memorial, which Dave will probably go and investigate shortly. And if you don't want to pay for free camping, you could go to the Caravan and Camping Club campsite, which is just across from the car park there. And to be quite honest with you...
That looks like more of a car park than this does.
Yeah, it does. It looks like when you've gone to a motorhome show and everyone's just parked in the field. So... the only difference is they can get their table and chairs out over there. But we could go and sit on the wall by the wheelie bins, look. So we decided to move on from the Rugby car park. It was an event on, the car park was filling up with yummy mummies and their kids, and there were a lot of dog walkers walking past and walking through the campsite next to us as well. We had our dinner.
Yeah.
And we've just, yeah.
It's very hot and sweaty, very busy, loads of people all about.
Yeah, so we decided to move on, and we've ended up at a really attractive spot.
Do you like HGVs?
Yes. So this is where we are. We're at the services on the A303. There's a parking area here. There's a few other vans here staying the night as well. And the reviews said it was quiet, so...
It's quiet?
It is quiet.
If you look that way, it's quite pretty.
Yeah, and we got a view out here. So, yeah, we'll close this blind and that blind, and then we'll pretend we're somewhere pretty. In the morning, we headed back down the A303, heading towards Stonehenge. Parking for motorhomes is in the coach parking area. At the visitor centre, there is a selection of reconstructed roundhouses. To get up to the stones, you can either walk or catch a bus.
We thought it would be nice to walk to the stones.
So we've got a lovely dirt track. Oh wait, no, that's not the bit we're supposed to be walking on. This is the bit we're walking on. Because there's a little man up there saying this is the public footpath to Stonehenge. And this is the road that the shuttle buses...
Shuttle up and down on.
Yes.
Past all the
with their
pedestrians.
flashing lights. Yeah, gosh. It might veer off.
No, it won't. This is it.
We haven't enjoyed the signage at Stonehenge.
If you're planning to come to Stonehenge and walk to the stones, you might imagine walking across fields, maybe an ancient track, maybe a track lined with stones, like a processional avenue like they had towards a lot of these prehistoric stone circles.
Yeah.
But no, you're routed along with the buses.
You can't get near to the stones, which is a real shame, and it was really, really busy. There's a paved footpath all the way around.
In a way, it's kind of nice that all these people aren't standing in the stones. It's a shame. You know what it was like at Clanish? You couldn't get a nice photograph. So the Stonehenge experience is a bit overrated. Lots of tourists, horrible path walking up. I think there was a countryside route, but it wasn't properly signposted if we could take that or not to get up the stones. And
it wouldn't make much difference. I thought if we took a cross-country route, we could slip back through the centuries and get into the mindset of the prehistoric people who built the place.
Yeah.
But when you get there, you're just shoulder to shoulder with tourists from around the world doing silly poses and chitter-chattering, and there's no spiritual aspect or atmosphere at all.
No. So I'm glad that we've done it, because obviously I've never been to Stonehenge before, and first time for everything, and bucket list tick, done. Sorry, there's a big coach just coming around the corner. I am impressed they've got dedicated motorhome parking. But they haven't got it properly signposted where you go from here. So there's a big visitors building over in the distance here. So we went there, but that was just for coach parties, and it wasn't properly signposted. That was just for coach parties, and you had to go around the corner, and then you had to take the right path, or you get shouted at. Oops.
You got shouted at, I didn't.
You just ran off and ignored the shouting.
I decided that she was not shouting at me.
Oh, she was shouting.
That works very well, I find.
Oh dear. Yeah.
She kept shouting for a while, didn't she? But it wasn't at me.
Yes, it was at me. Hey ho. But yeah, and the bus was jam-packed coming back, and the person sat behind me had very smelly breath, and I didn't enjoy it at all, that part. So, yeah. Anyway, we're back at the van, having a cuppa.
And now we're heading off to find a park up for the night.
So this is Small Grain picnic area. What time is it now?
It is now 20 to 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah. So there's a couple of walks around here which we might try after tea when we've both had a little bit of a rest, because I'm a bit exhausted.
I will be having my breakfast on that bench up there.
How lovely will that be?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah. Anyway. Little kid waving to me. Oh dear. Yeah, so hopefully this will be nice. Hopefully. We've got a completely empty car park, and it's 7:20. There's been lots of people just coming up and having a picnic up on the picnic benches. But other than that, it's been very quiet. Yeah, so we've got 1, 2, 3 nights of our holiday left. Not long.
We woke up to a bit of rain, and then we headed off to Avebury.
we're at the National Trust car park in Avebury. There was a height barrier when we came in, but it's open. And this is the parking area for motorhomes, large vehicles and coaches. So we're just going to sort out the pay arrangements and have a little walk. And the sun's come out. I hope it stays out.
It's only a short walk from the car park into Avebury. Avebury is home to the world's largest prehistoric stone circle, and it's considered to be older than Stonehenge, and it's much better.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Yeah, it's a pretty amazing place to visit. How would you describe it?
Like Stonehenge, but better.
Yeah, it's just, so much atmosphere there, isn't there?
And much fewer people.
Absolutely.
It's a very special place, isn't it?
Certainly is.
Really, really lovely. And it's not packed full of tourists either.
Nobody here.
I don't want to speak too soon because the coaches might start arriving. But right now, there's one or two people about. There's a few people in the coffee shop. But yeah, this is really lovely.
Yeah, and you can get right up close to the stones and sit on them.
Sit on them, you can touch them, you can hug them.
You can sit on them and bang your head.
Yeah, I did bang my head earlier. We've only been here a few minutes, but I'm almost tempted to go back and get our picnic. But it'll be sod's law that it will rain in the interim, so we'll have a little walk around and then we'll go back and have a picnic and come back out, I think. Yeah. There's a dark cloud looming. These trees, they're all in darkness here, are incredible. Whoop. Let's just get round the corner, see if we can get them. The roots are magical. You see how absolutely stunning this is. Last time we were here, there were ribbons throughout the trees. Up here, there's definitely something hanging in the trees. Yeah. Beautiful. As predicted, here's the rain. But we're under the lovely big trees, having a lovely bit of shelter. No rain dripping down yet. The crows are crowing. It'll pass.
Dave's making friends with the locals again.
Well, who knows where this path will lead us? It's part of the fun about coming away. Is finding a little lane, seeing where it takes you. Oh. These pretty, pretty little cottages. Oh, they're adorable. Got roses round the front. I tried to put roses round the front of our doorway once, but the rose bush died. Avebury Church. St James's Church, welcome pilgrims of all faiths and none.
St James' Church dates back to the 9th century, with many additions over the centuries.
That's some archway. Don't see that very often. In churches, usually they're plain. That's quite ornate. The squeaking door. That is beautiful. The work that's gone into that. This font looks old.
The font is Anglo-Saxon and the carvings were added by the Normans.
Oh, look at this. Heart of oak belfry dated 1636. God. It's spooky in here, and there was just a little rumble of thunder. It's only spooky because it's dark. Can't really tell, but it is darker in here. By sheep. I have stopped now. This is West Kennet Avenue, but for the full experience you should walk the other way. But we will walk both ways because we've got to walk down there and back. But I think there's cows in this field.
Did they stop grazing in gates?
So we'll have to be careful.
West Kennet Avenue is the ritual approach route to Avebury Stone Circle. It's made up of two parallel lines of stones and it's about 1.5 miles long.
That's thunder. Just a warning. It's all uphill.
There are only 27 stones remaining, but excavations estimate that there are originally about 100.
Dave's playing hide and seek. Peekaboo, I see you. Hey! Oh.
After a full day in Avebury, we headed off again to find somewhere to park for the night.
Had a lovely day out in Avebury.
It was a lovely day. Didn't
Lovely.
look good to begin with. It was all rainy when we woke up. It dried up, didn't it?
It certainly did, yes. And now we're at Pewsey Downs car park. Just get the brightness in. There's cows right in front of us, your favourite friends, and there's sheep in the field behind us, your other favourite friends. And yeah, we're going to hunker down here, have a little rest, and then have some dinner.
Nice chats with the locals.
Yes, right. Chucking it down out there now. But what a view to be sat watching with a cup of coffee. Sound of the rain, warm and dry.
Warm and dry.
Yeah. This is our last park up of the trip.
That's off grid.
Yeah, we're on a campsite tomorrow. This is our last overnighting stop. Whatever you want to call it, off-grid, wild camp.
We're overnighting tomorrow night.
we're on a campsite tomorrow. Yeah, I get confused by terminology. Some people don't like you using the term wild camping or off-grid camping, off-grid park up. I mean, I don't know what the right terminology is. I don't really care. We're here.
I know what I mean.
I know what I mean. I just can't ever get my words out right. Anyway, it is absolutely glorious, even though the windscreen is rainy. I'm quite content. You're making friends with the locals again?
We understand each other. Yeah, I heard you.
So here we are again on our last off-grid, doing the wonderful task of washing up. These are the joys of being on the road, the humdrum things. It's not all visiting lovely places and putting your feet up and relaxing, is it, Dave?
It's not, is it, dear? No. Some of us have to do the washing up, don't we? Whilst others are filming.
I'm waiting. I've got the dish towel. The dish towel? I've dropped it.
I'll get that, shall I?
Oh, I'm hopeless today. I'm just hopeless today. I did cook tea.
You did cook tea. Did a very fine job too.
I thank you, dear. How much do you enjoy it when a van pulls up with 2 barking dogs?
And we were treated to a glorious sunset.
We've got a lovely view this morning. The cows are on the horizon there. And there were 4 vans here overnight.
We're the last ones here.
We're the last ones to leave, but that is only because we can't get on our campsite till 12. But Dave's going to go for a walk later. There's been a rambling group go off this morning. And Dave's done all the housework. Ooh, let me focus on you. And Dave's done all the housework. He's swept the floor. He's made the bed.
You know, you're inspecting my work, are you? I see. Checking up.
Put the rubbish in the garage so we can get rid of that later.
Acceptable job.
Yeah. One of the downsides of...
Also cleaned out the shower and hung out the rags out to dry as well. I made breakfast, just saying.
You made breakfast for yourself.
So did you.
I've made 2 cups of tea this morning. That's a rarity.
That is a rarity. It was a rarity this morning, me being brought a cup of tea.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, you may do all the cooking in the van, but I make most of the cups of tea.
You do, but you do it so much better than me. You know how you like it, so I quite often make you bad cups of tea. How's that one?
Acceptable.
Good. Yeah, one of the downsides of not staying on campsites is that you do accumulate a lot of rubbish. And our bin on the door doesn't have a retainer to hold everything in place, so it doesn't really function as a bin, does it?
Well, you say that. No, in short.
Yes, so one of the downsides of not staying on a campsite every single night is that you do accumulate a lot of rubbish, especially when you're cooking convenience food that comes in all this horrible plastic packaging. So usually we can get rid of it in bins and things.
We'll do sooner or later.
Yeah, but sometimes when we stay places there are no bins, so we have to store all the rubbish in the garage, which isn't a real problem. It's all tied up and bagged properly, so we go into a campsite.
It's only a problem when you store up masses and then you get to the supermarket and you've got half a tonne to unload from the garage into the bin.
Yeah, that's not really happened more than once. That happened on the big trip, didn't it? But yeah, places like this, there's no bins that you can use. And if I'd say we get a small bag of rubbish daily per day, because we haven't emptied our rubbish for 3 days.
Least.
So yeah, so we've got 3 bags to get rid of today, but we're on a campsite tonight, so that's fine. Yeah.
So talking about food, tell us about your lovely, tasty bean meals you made with sausages and beans.
Yeah. Sausage, beans,
There
and
it is.
instant mash.
Having them again. Yeah, sausage, a beanie thing from a tin and instant mash, isn't it?
Yeah. And
no extra oil either, so it's
so
reasonably
I
healthy.
cook the sausages up in their own fat, and I either buy a tin of the taco beans, or 2 nights ago we had a tin of vegetarian butternut stew, butternut squash and beans stew, mixed in with the sausages as they're in the frying pan, and I make the instant mash in a little plastic.
Measuring jug.
That's the one, and a bit of butter. Nice big bit of butter. And a bit of hot water, and tasty. Yeah. So this is our final day of our big trip.
Final full day. Yeah, we head home tomorrow.
Yeah. And it's been wonderful. This car park was so quiet last night.
Have you said what it's called? Where it is?
Pewsey Downs. I think I said it when we arrived. Yeah. Pewsey Downs car park. It's not terribly massive. I think it would fit about
15 vehicles.
Yeah, 15 vehicles. Yeah.
I know because I counted there were 7 here and there's space for another 7. So
He's good, isn't he? He's good. He's good. Yeah. So yeah, it was really, really lovely here last night. The car park we stayed in the night before was very quiet as well.
Yeah, that was great.
So yeah.
The one before that was not great. We moved on from that. Oh no, hang on. I'm getting confused.
Yeah, you were right.
Yeah, that's right.
Salisbury
Rugby Club.
wasn't good, but we moved on to the services on the A303, which I think a lot of people have been using.
That was the one. That was good.
Yeah, because the Drove is still closed, and it's been closed since the winter solstice. So a lot of people, when they're travelling through this area, do stop at the Drove and things. And I would have liked to have stopped there just for the experience of it, but it's still closed. Don't know if it's going to reopen. There's conflicting thoughts on it.
The authorities are making excuses for keeping it closed, aren't they?
Yeah, which is a real shame because, it's a big tradition of people stopping there, to visit the sites. Anyway, yes, so we stayed at the A303 services, and yeah, that was pretty good for our services.
Yeah, that was good.
Can't complain. We've slept in noisier places.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which had a gorge. Yeah, so we're going to enjoy our tea and coffee right now. Dave might go for a walk, and if he does, I'm sure he'll do a little video to show you where he's been.
Do a little walk up there.
Yeah, and I'm going to stay here and rest.
Yeah.
And then we'll move on to our campsite and have another walk.
But you've done very well with your getting out and about, walking on this holiday, dear. Better than I expected.
It's been more of a struggle than I've been letting on, I think.
Is it?
Yeah, yesterday.
Soldiering.
Yesterday was really hard, and I didn't want to make a fuss because I was really... I'm going to get upset. I was really looking forward to yesterday. So.
All our ladies coming for a drink in the morning. This one's called beef burger, this one's called mince, this one's called barbecue.
Beef chilli.
Beef chilli.
Lasagna. Beef lasagna.
Oh, don't you make me hungry now. Well, if you do come to Pewsey Downs, there's the car park down there. You can just see our van behind the tree. And there's a short walk up Knapp Hill that's behind me. And over here, just on the left of the screen there, the peak is Walker's Hill, I believe. You can get up there. And what a view. Beautiful. Lovely today, about 18 degrees, nice and warm. Not too hot for a bit of a walk and a climb. And this is Knapp Hill, near the summit. Here we are at the top of Knapp Hill. Guru Maps tells me it's 260 metres.
You can see these are all electric. What are your first impressions of this campsite?
It's pretty.
Yeah.
Lots of trees, lots of shade.
Yeah.
Very wooded. It's like Forestry Commission.
It is Forestry Commission. Yeah.
What's it called?
Postern Hills.
Postern Hills.
Yeah. And she said there's only be 4 more vehicles checking in today, which means that there's going to be lots of space. And she said after that, after this weekend, the prices all go up.
Oh.
This has been under £20 to stay here.
Right.
The prices all go up after today, and they're going to be super busy. It's half term next week.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No showers.
No showers, but they've got toilets just over here. And I think that's a washing up area. And bins are over to the back here, and the chem waste.
Chem waste.
Yeah. They're not sure they've got a grey waste drop. I'll check the map, but I don't think they have.
Yeah, I did see. Well, I saw grey waste. I don't know if it was a drop. I saw grey waste.
We'll have to check that then.
Yeah.
Have to check.
We set up our chairs and enjoyed a little bit of sunshine on the campsite. Sadly, Postern Hills campsite closed at the end of this year.
Okay, we're about to set off on our woodland walk.
Postern Hills is set next to the ancient Savernake Forest.
Full of impressive trees. I like trees.
We're taking the footpath into Marlborough, and we're going to go and get a pint and a meal, and lots of lovely little avenues to walk down. It's bittersweet, it's because it's our last night and our treat. Yay! But sad, but happy. Mixed emotions from me.
We enjoyed a pint and ate some dinner, which wasn't so nice. So I worked it out today that we had 12 completely free park-ups on this trip.
Over how many nights?
25 nights.
Oh, so half.
Yeah.
Half were completely free.
Yeah. You're good at math, I'm not. So we were just short of 4 weeks away because we wanted to get back before the weekend, before the bank holiday weekend. And we spent 12 nights on free car parks and park-ups and things like that. Side of the road in one case as well. Bishop's Waltham, the side of the road.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we had 6 paid park-ups, ranging from £3 to £8.
Off-grid.
Yeah, off, not on a campsite.
6 paid off-grid.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah. And we had 7 nights on campsites. Now, that was more than we would usually have in this period of time because we took 3 nights in Glastonbury as a special treat, didn't we? and that was quite expensive. It was £30 a night for Glastonbury, so that was just a special treat because it was convenient for Glastonbury, and it was somewhere that.
And also Glastonbury is very difficult to overnight without paying.
So yeah, we've had a lot of really great little places to stay, and I think we're both in agreement that our favourite little paid park up was Avebury.
I think, yeah, that's the big discovery of the trip, isn't it? Because we knew we were going to love Glastonbury and Avebury.
Yeah.
But yeah, Avebury was the find of the trip.
Yeah, it was lovely there. The walks were lovely, and the neck oil was under £7 a pint, which is always a good thing. £7 a pint! I never thought I would see the day when we walked into a pub and asked how much a pint of beer was. But over the last few months, we've been in pubs and been charged. What was the most you were charged for a neck oil?
£7 and 5p.
Yeah, for a pint of beer, £7 5p. So now we've actually started going in, and when there's neck oil on tap, we've been asking how much it costs, because it's just ridiculous. It's so expensive. You could buy a meal for the price of 2 beers. Anyway, rant over on that one. Well, I'm finished. Do you want to rant on about price of beer? You
On the subject though, just because it is very important, the price of beer is so high that the pubs are going to go out of business. That's the tragedy of it.
Yeah.
You know, and they are part of our culture and tradition. Anyway, rant over, yes. Anyway, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been trying to do this trip on the cheap, really, haven't we?
We have, yeah.
Maybe we should do a full financial breakdown at some point. But
yeah, maybe if anyone's interested, let us know, because I'd be very happy to.
Yeah.
You know, I've worked out how much we spent on campsites and things, and yeah, food and whatever.
Were any of our overnights over £30? Glastonbury was £30.
Yes, the very first one that we stayed at, it was a bank holiday weekend, and the cheapest site I could find in a 30-mile radius was the Caravan and Motorhome Club site in Bognor Regis, which was fine, but yeah, it wasn't the nicest of Caravan and Motorhome Club sites that we went to, but that was £35.20, and that was the most expensive. And
this is your favourite?
This is my favourite site so far.
This is in Marlborough, Forestry Commission. And how much is this one?
It is £19.80 for tonight.
£19.80.
But she did say that the prices will be going up after this weekend, because it's a bank holiday weekend and then summer. So, yeah, come off season. If this place was full,
it wouldn't be as nice.
It wouldn't have the same atmosphere. I think because there's so much space between all the vans.
There's more trees than vans at the moment.
And it's beautiful.
It's very nice. The only downside is that there's no showers.
Yeah, yeah.
And you don't like the toilets?
The toilets are...
Toilets are fine. They're fine.
No, they're fine. We've had worse. We've been in worse. We've been in a lot worse toilets, even on this trip. I really don't want to name names, but the Honeysuckle Homestead toilets were... They had a letterbox. I've never been in a toilet that had a letterbox.
Did you check to see if it opened?
I didn't. I meant to.
Yeah, you should have done.
But I was too afraid to go back to them.
I should have checked whilst you were in there. Hello!
Oh my goodness me. And so we will get away for some more little weekenders this year. And we might have not a big trip, but maybe a mid-sized trip later on in the year as well. If you've enjoyed our videos, do give us a thumbs up, and do leave us a comment to let us know that you dropped by. That would be very, very nice. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe as well, because you know we're not always upbeat and happy. Sometimes we're miserable and grumpy, but this is who we are, and he's grumpier than me. This is who we are, and yeah, thank you. What are you laughing at?
You.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals they take us higher. The night's young, it has just begun, as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night,